Is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, closet swing traders. Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys are surviving the market. I was just looking at Wayfair. I was like, man, I know somebody asked me to, like, in the chat. This is probably like 3 weeks ago. They're like, yeah, what about Wayfair? Where can we get in? I was like, I like it anywhere under $36. I don't know where I was for the last week. I did not see this thing break out, but closing it, opening so far about 52.85. So whoever that was, congrats. I hope you hope you were able to take advantage of that. But we will see. All right. We got the SPY up, all good. Looks like we're connected to YouTube. We got Amy in the house. Good morning. We got Andy, Bill, Brian Reppel, Chris, Eric Pearl. Good morning. Jay, Linda, Jill, Joe, JT's with us. Yeah, we got Lauren, Martina, Ron, Win, Wally, all my peeps in YouTube land. I got it one screen, so I got to share it back and forth. But good morning to Josh. Good morning to Jeff. Ratto, good morning to you as well. Yeah, Josh is back at it. Josh is ready to go. I love it. Love it. All right, let's see what we got in the market. So slight little tiny gap up, nothing too crazy. There is some individual names that are moving for sure. I know Ron sent me a text with a couple that you were looking at. Ron, if you don't mind, just throw those back into the chat pane. We'll take a look at those. We already got Jay coming out with Marvel and Affirm. We got Ron say, what is up, Danny boy? Not much, just enjoying life, taking it day by day, baby steps. Here we go. Rock says, good morning to everyone. Oof. Man, this is the best community in the world, I think. All right, we got SPY. So SPY jumping, at least opening a little bit to the highs of yesterday. I think what's more impressive than that, two things. One, I still got my target sitting out there, 431.82. It hasn't hit. I can't be wrong, can I? No, that wouldn't make sense. I have still a higher target. I think we have some more room to go on the SPY, but we are above all of the previous VPOCs. So at least that's telling me for right now. And we got some selling before, but that also makes sense. We had a big rally into it, and there's going to be some profit taken, just little two realistically inside day candles. But if those are the higher volume areas, the market's actually more still interested in bidding this thing up higher. So we will see. We have one little spot. I think I had this one on my chart too. Somewhere in this 428, we'll call it 428.56. That's our high spot. If we could break through that one, that's the number I'm looking for. I don't see much really in the way. Two targets, maybe a little shy of it, 431.15, but we should get pretty close to that. So there is a lot of room for some upside today as well. Appreciate you reposting that, Ron. Take a look real quick at the Qs. That one's up as well. That one's up. We still have one little hiccup on the Q. So I do like the SPY. I like them both bullish, to be honest. But we do have a little bit of tightening resistance. That's going to be somewhere around 355.33. If that one breaks, if that one starts to pop out of there, I think we could run a little bit further. I'm not seeing anything. Maybe our next stop could be 356.12, and then we're probably going to get taken right into about 359.38. Hold on to your hats. We might hit 360 in the Qs. January 1st, who thought that was possible? Be serious. Don't lie to me. 360. Yeah, we're always ending in January. Now Rock says I did. No, just for DraftKings. You got 360 on DraftKings. That's Rock's upgraded price target. Speaking of upgrades, we do have Netflix just got an upgrade as well. So they are running. I think this is going to be buy the dip opportunities if it comes in for anybody. I'm still holding long-term account, so that looks good. Not a lot to hold us back at this point to 426. That could happen today. Basically, the upgrade came in off of the password sharing. I love how people turn negatives into positives. I mean, it just gets my day going. They go, prior to this, everybody was like, oh, no, everyone's going to cancel their subscriptions. And then like, wait a minute. It's only $15 a month. And if you're already hooked enough to want to steal somebody's account, not really steal, but I guess borrow. Technically, I guess that's stealing from Netflix. Don't be thieves. Just buy it yourself. And I think that's what I think there's a potential to get a whole bunch more people to subscribe, which will be extra bullish on Netflix. But I'm not seeing anything really in the way of Netflix. I'm not seeing anything that could really hold us back. Yeah, I'm gonna be looking to play Netflix long. I like this one a lot in a long direction. Hopefully, I can get some kind of initial sell out of the gate. Would be fantastic. But it is a gap and go. We might have to dig deep about 9:26 a.m. this morning and take a look at some pre-market and see if we maybe could take a break. There could be a little bit of selling. There was a wick up there, and sellers did come in previously, but that is a decent gap and go. Again, the gap and go is also after a big massive run. There is a little bit more people profitable than if this red candle was on some kind of a downtrend. So there is some elements to this thing that it could pull back first and then go. But I don't see a lot really in the way. And if we get a pullback, I'll be watching for about 407.86. So maybe it pulls back a couple dollars and that would be our spot. Brian says, love is sharing your password. Not to the CEO of Netflix. Nope. But to the buddy you're sharing it with, yeah, for sure. That, not only that, but it's trust. You gotta trust somebody. See, I don't think Amazon has that problem because then that also ties into your Prime account. So somebody was like, yeah, man, I want to watch Thursday Night Football, but I don't have I don't have Prime. He's like, send me your password. I'm like, get out of here, man. Go. You want me to send my social security number while I'm at it? You just don't be crazy. Don't be crazy. Well, we'll see. Tesla. Yep. Tesla. They are looking to expand. I forget which country it was, but there's a country they came out with that they're looking to expand into. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inside days, 6 essentially days in a row into a little bit of some kind of resistance. Clearly double bottom, breaking the neckline, good solid close yesterday, and we do get the gap up. So I'm going to watch this one. It could run. It's Tesla. It could do wild things, but I think buying a pullback would make more sense after just so many people profitable on a wave count basis. Not that we're due at all. I mean, I think we're in some type of wave 3, but I think 1, 2, 3. If we get a pullback, eventually 4, 5. So I'm not sure just when that pullback actually comes in or occurs. But if you're holding from yesterday, it's looking pretty good. But we are into a little tiny bit of resistance. Tessie does have the ability to go. Yeah, Mongolia, I think it was. Yep. And I was gonna say something with an M, and I was like, I don't know too many countries it could be. Let's take a look at GME, but I think it's Mongolia. So obviously, if you know anything about Mongolia, they love Tesla cars. All right, we got GameStop gapping up a little bit. I believe their short float's still about 22%, something like that. So it's still pretty relatively high. Here's our highest volume candle. That is about to be completely broken. GameStop's got to slide pretty high on the list. I'm going to bring Tesla up there as well, too. Tesla, I think we could wait a little bit. I might miss it. If I do, so be it. But we will get Tesla up there. Netflix looks really good. GameStop's going to have that short float element behind it, too. And we might take a trade on some GameStop. It is up nicely, obviously. It is technically a retest gap. The one thing I learned about GameStop is apes don't care. Apes don't care. They're going to be out there putting some chips on the table. I think you have a lot of room, probably up to about 28.48 would be our next really location. But again, with that short float, who knows? So let's see if we can get a little pullback. to some extent, some kind of pre-market level, something like that. But GameStop does look pretty good for sure. Let me get into some of Ron's picks. So he's got AXSM. He's got a bear retest, 21% short float. So far, description of that gap is accurate. The only thing about this one, though, so the short float would only apply on the gap and goes. So just keep that in mind. With the gap and goes, you're squeezing the bears. Right now, this is a gap down with a 21% short float. So anybody who's in there short, all the high shorts are feeling good about themselves. The squeezes really happen when you have the gap and goes in the high short floats. So keep that in mind. But this is it is a little bit of a gap down. You have the 10 right in front of you, so maybe that could hold. But the short float would almost work against you in this situation. All right, you got U-Haul, UHAL. 21.5 short flow. That one could be interesting. Let's add some U-Haul to the list. It is so this one is a retest gap. So we're still trapping people. U-Haul, let's add it to the list. We'll watch this one at open. We'll still see if this one wants to in any way act as some kind of a pullback. We could play it to the higher side. We have not broken out of that high volume candle yet. So there could be some resistance along the way, potentially. But again, the short float's going to work. We have a lot of room into that 10 EMA. Even if we were just to go Fibonacci on this candle, and I'm on one screen today, so make me work. But probably about the 50% of that candle takes us still to about 56.80. Maybe we get a little bit higher due to short float into about 57.60. So it does have some room, but I need some kind of setup on this one to really get going, because right now, again, if you still have a huge short float, the shorts have been crushing. Right. So now you're gapping up a little bit. You have potential to run, but the shorts are still dominating this one. So I don't think it's gonna be as squeezy specifically, but it does have some elements that it could. Bears still trapped. Yeah, I don't think the bears are trapped yet. And then we have MBLY with a 29% short float. Let's see what MBLY is. I don't even know this one. Give me 1 second, guys. All right. My bad. All right. Oh, this is Mobileye. All right. I do know Mobileye. So this one would be a little bit of a retest gap per se. 29% short float's decent. This one could get a little bit interesting. Immediate targets would be about 44, 47 on something like this. That'd be my immediate targets. How does this one have that big of a short float? It doesn't look like it's getting clobbered. Huh. I think it'd be one to add to the list, but you do have a little bit of resistance up there. Seems like it's kind of hanging in there, though. All right, let's see what else we got going on. GameStop, yep, we took a look at that one. Tesla, we took a look at that one. And we can go back to those two if we miss it. I just want to make sure that we cover them all. Gertline says, the Roku. Yeah, Roku could be a little bit of a sympathy play on Netflix. I do like Netflix a little bit better than potentially Roku today, just because it is at least you have the element of the gap and go on Netflix. Roku, technically a retest gap, a little bit of resistance coming in up here. But you are clearing a lot. I'd be very curious. Does Roku have a big short float? If it does, this one might be able to get a little bit past that resistance. Let's see. They have a 10% short float, so that's decent in terms of shorties. And this would be the area you're clobbering a lot of them. Longer term picture. I mean, that looks like a insane inverse head and shoulders. We probably have some room at least to 69.11. Again, the only difference on this one is that it's a retest gap, not a gap and go. I would say if we start really breaking 60, this might be one to watch actually for a swing as well. This one looks decent for a swing. I do like Roku a lot. I mean, I hate Roku as a general idea, but for the trade, I like it. This is like the double bottom. You got that inverse head and shoulders. You got that short float squeeze element to it. You could probably see in the near future somewhere close to the 83.97. That already gives you a decent return. And is not a lot really holding you back. Once you get past that, I would say probably get past about 87. You're back to the 112 zone. So Roku does have a lot of room. I'm going to move it up. I haven't really been watching this one lately, but it's definitely going on the watch list. Maybe we could do something with it today, but it is, keep in mind, it is that retest gap. And that's the only thing I'm like, it's hard to pull the trigger right away. But you're clearing a lot of that resistance. I mean, I like this spot a lot. So let's see if this one pulls back at all. We got Marvell. Marvell Technologies. This one could have a nice little gap on this one. It is technically a retest gap, but you're clearing a little bit of a pivot. Next target would probably take you to about $6. So just $6. We'll just take you to $6. 63.47. We'll get that one a little bit higher on the list as well. We do have all that volume below us. That should act as support. Not really too much in the way of getting us to about 65.21. And then if that could break, that takes us to about 66. So definitely could be one to watch there. I'm still liking this gap a lot. This looks like some kind of a pennant pattern. It looks like we broke. What I would love to see on this one, I don't know if it happens or not, but at least I could plan for what I would like. If this is a little pennant pattern after a really sweet gap up, give me some kind of a pullback by the dip and then see if you can make that next leg up higher. So I would hope for some kind of pullback on that one. Not quite sure. Affirm. AFRM. There's another good gap up, and I think Affirm has good short flow too still. AFRM. Buy now. Get around to pay and do it. If not, shake hands, be friends. That's a really, really good gap on Affirm. Not a lot happening there. Man, why didn't I just extend my targets out to like here? 18R trade. All right. Yeah, looks decent. It is technically a retest gap. See if we get back down to about 1784 might be interesting to see if we get any type of a pullback, but I don't see anything really in the way at this point to stop this thing until 2204. 20% short float. We gonna make some Affirm money today. And then we'll take a look at Delta. 37.85 retest gap. Target, initial target to the higher side, about $38. So that's only going to give you about 15 cents. If that one breaks, though, and we're starting to look at more of a bigger retest of things, that could get your target to about 38.71, which would be interesting. You are above this kind of higher volume area that I had just randomly on my chart, but that was a struggle bus. Good close yesterday. Would love to see a little pullback on Delta first. We'll scoot this one up. But this one I'd be okay. And Delta has just been, for me, it's like my white whale. It's just my Achilles heel. Every time I try Delta anything, just knowing I'm going into a trade, going into battle with Delta, the anxiety just starts popping up. But yeah, we could definitely look at Delta. It's an interesting gap, but I'm okay waiting for that pullback for sure. Just for me, if we can get it. CRM, what do I got? 8 more minutes. We got Salesforce. Good gap. We are at the resistance now on this one, and it is a retest gap. So see if this one can fade down first. But if we get some candles that really close above where we're at now, so anywhere above really 215.41, the next target on that one becomes 218.45, and I like that a lot. That would also be closing the gap. So that would look decent, but you are at resistance, and there is technically a retest gap. So maybe some people profitable that will give us some kind of a red candle. We'll get this one a little bit higher on the list as well. CRM. Go down there. All right. Affirm. Yep. Affirm I like a lot. Amazon Pay adds Affirm adaptive checkout as a payment option. All right. A mistake to farm. A mistype to farm get you a small 63% gap up. What? Yeah, why are you guys looking at Affirm when you could just be out there farming all day? You could be out there plowing the fields with this one for 63% gap. Farmer Brothers Company. I mean, apparently they adapted the AI into the farming game. I don't know. Let me check out YouTube and see which ones you guys got. Again, I only got one screen today, so I'm just kind of going back and forth. But CPD, is that Campbell Soup? All right, let's take a look at CPB. CPB. Nobody like that tomato soup anymore, huh? Campbell's. Is this an earnings miss or news? It looks like an earnings beat. Beat per share lost 2.4 mil in the revies. Into a little bit of support. The spot that I would like to see hold if you're bullish is 47.05. Otherwise, anything below that, probably short into 45.57. 45.57 is probably a spot we get to regardless. But for day trade purpose, that's a pretty wide gap. It is a retest gap. Probably look to fade that one higher, I would assume. Let me see. Markets are on holiday until next week. No move. Maybe, maybe not. We do have the Central Bank of Canada raising rates. And I don't know if you guys missed it yesterday, but we did have Australia raise rates yesterday as well. So they paused last month, Australia. They did raise it this month. Canada paused last month. And I don't know. That was 9 o'clock in the morning so about 25 minutes ago. So I'm not sure what Canada did as far as rates go, but not that I think the U.S. market is going to be affected by any of that yet, but it is good to go into Jerome Powell, just kind of understanding where the rest of the world is at for what Jerome Powell might do. Because, again, like I was saying in the afternoon room, or not really the afternoon, but whatever you call the one right before the afternoon room, I do think there's wiggle room for a potential, very, very potential 25-point basis hike, which, keep in mind, just a little short time ago, probably about 30 days to 50 days, it was pretty much widely assumed that there was going to be no raise whatsoever. So the fact that we do get some kind of raise in would be very interesting. I'm going to take a look real quick at Netflix, see how quickly I could lose an R. But let's see. This would be 414.05. I like that bullish. And stop, we go 414, 417's high. Let's go a little bit here. So 410.23. Just kind of planning out a trade in a worst case scenario, but we do have 4 minutes left. So that would be my stop. And then let me just see where my targets would be. So we got 414.05. 05, and the stop on this one 410.23. 410.23. There we go. I had a mistype and it said 2 R's was like $1,100. 421.69. Uh-oh. Okay, I was back. I don't know what just happened. 421.69. That would be targets. I'm going to get that ready in the broker for sure for an extra quick loss in the morning. I mean, Affirm looks really good too. So, let's see. My personal day trade, NFLX 414.05. I do want to see where this thing opens, so I'm not actually throwing this. I'm just getting it ready in the broker. I'm not actually putting it out there. Just FYI, I'm not hitting submit yet. But this is how it would look, and that's what I'm thinking. I'm also very interested in Affirm. I think that's got some potential movability as well. $14.05. All right. And then we'll take a quick look at Affirm pre-market. I got like 30 seconds, 43 seconds left. Affirm, that's such a big pop on that news. Again, it could get very interesting on this one too. Do we have a high wave of some sorts? I would love to see maybe a pullback, like quick pullback, something. That pop just happened. Maybe some people might want to take some profits, but that would be Affirm. Definitely with that short float could get a little bit extra crazy today. But unfortunately, I only got 16 seconds left. You guys have been absolutely incredible in YouTube land. Make sure that you guys hit the like, subscribe, and check out Real Life Trading for all the free education. And you can hang out and chill with us all day. But you guys are absolutely incredible. I'll catch you guys later.